From the Headline News Network, this is TBS NewsWatch.
Headline News, I'm Bobby Batista. The latest employment figures are out, and the word is good. More Americans are now holding jobs than have in almost a decade. Micah Johnson has the figures.
The nation's civilian unemployment rate dropped to 5.8% in December. The Labor Department says this is the lowest rate since July 1979. 235,000 Americans found work in December. The economy created 3 million new jobs in 1987, raising total employment to 115.5 million. Jobs in manufacturing continued to expand last month, with 40,000 workers added to payrolls. In the past year, 400,000 factory jobs have been added, most in the past 6 months, as the nation's export industries took advantage of the fall in the value of the dollar, making U.S. goods cheaper abroad. Unemployment among teenagers dropped from 17.5% a year ago to 16.1% in December, a decline that the Labor Department labeled as little improvement. The jobless rate for black teens last month was 33.4%, down from 36.6% a year ago. The jobless rate for blacks as a whole declined from 13.7% in December 1986 to 12.2% last month. Those workers who have given up the search for a job in the belief they could not find one fell by 72,000 to 910,000 in the fourth quarter. The number of so-called discouraged workers are not counted in the unemployment rate. The Labor Department says that women and blacks continue to make up a disproportionately large share of discouraged workers. Micah Johnson, CNN, reporting.
The figures did little to help Wall Street, which opened down and continued falling. In active trading, the Dow Jones Industrials are now off 29 points to 2,022.88. About 59 million shares have changed hands. Meanwhile, the Brady Commission investigating the October stock crash is expected to release its findings as soon as today's market closes. A massive snowstorm is powering its way up the East Coast today. Forecasters predict accumulation of half a foot or more in New York, where brisk winds and steady snows hindered the morning rush hour. In Washington, D.C., the storm dumped 8 inches of snow before rush hour. Federal and local government offices are shut down. The storm that dumped on the south yesterday is gone, but its memory is ever present. Many stranded travelers spent the night in airports. Well, the snowy weather doesn't happen very often in the South, and for the 10,000 homeless people in Atlanta, winter's grip forces them from the only home they have, the streets. Mark Leff reports.
The search is on to save lives in the center of the South's largest metropolis. Police are checking places where they know they're likely to find street people, and when they do, they're trying to get them to someplace warm. But already, there's virtually no room at the inn. Atlanta has about 55 shelters with about 3,000 beds available to the homeless. There may be as many as 10,000 homeless in the city.
Quite often the men, as I'm sure you know, will find shelter in an abandoned building, under a bridge, or somewhere else. I would say of the men we've had here, 20 I've never even seen before.
I slept out for a while, but I didn't stay long because, you know, it's too bad. Snow and slick and just too bad to be out there.
Women and children make up an increasing part of Atlanta's homeless population. Officials at a 93-bed women's shelter in North Atlanta have been full up since before the snow started falling Thursday morning. The Atlanta Homeless Task Force has been trying to get people inside, but some of the homeless have been rejecting the shelters as too dirty, too noisy, and too crowded.
I'll catch a bus.
And where will you go?
I don't know.
Dave is another street person who said thanks but no thanks.